Hey there, sports fans. This is Cal the Constructor. Welcome to Budget Dragon Highlander. In this week's episode, we are using a popular budget variant, Pauper. Aside from the commander, every card in these decks is a common. Matt is using the tried and true Zur the Enchanter. Larry is calling forth a zombie horde behind the Scarab God. Gabe is giving partners a try with the tag team of Ludovic, Necro Alchemist, and Ishai, Ojutai Dragon Speaker. I'm looking to infect my way to victory with Saskia the Unyielding. Let's look to the scoreboard to see how the players are faring so far. After last week's tribal action, I was able to claim victory after surviving not one but two board wipes. Click the links below to see deck lists, and please remember to like and subscribe. Also, if you like what you see, please help the channel by supporting us on Patreon and follow us on Twitter. Let's get to the game. I'm going to go ahead and play this Terramorphic Expanse and then pass my turn.
So everybody, tell us about your decks while we're getting first turns out of the way.
Zombies. It's all about the zombies for me. Make them, let the commander do damage with them, and then hope I can keep them.
Seems like a solid strategy. How about yourself, Calvin?
I'm running Saskia so that all my creatures will deal extra damage, and then I'm trying to get through with Infect.
Always fun. I myself am running partner commanders using Ludovic for draw power and Ishai because anytime an opponent casts a spell, he gets a +1/+1 counter. So, yay! We'll see how that goes. And yourself, Matt?
Today I'm running Zur the Enchanter. Basically, I've got a few creatures in here, but it's get him on the board and do lots of enchantment stuff. We'll see how it goes.
Indeed we shall.
I'm going to play a Grixis Panorama. I'll go ahead and use the one colorless from the Panorama to cast this Vector Asp, and then I'll pass my turn.
Tap 2 and play Dregscape Zombie.
And you were worried about not having enough zombies out soon.
No, now I'm worried about not having enough mana out. I had to mulligan down to 6 just to be able to play a couple cards.
Yeah, that's always a fun feeling.
Yeah, I have an overwhelming sense of dread at the moment.
You're hiding it well.
Pass to Calvin. Or Matt, I'm sorry.
Play my land and pass turn.
I'm going to go ahead and pop the Terramorphic Expanse on the end of the Gabe's turn.
Money says he goes for black.
It's a solid bet. I'm with you on that.
I would have lost money.
I think he did that just out of spite.
I'm going to go ahead and put this Forest into play tap and then start my turn. I'm going to tap all three and play this Rot Wolf, and then I'm going to pass turn.
I've just discovered that this is probably going to be a long game for me. So if you'll pardon my aggression, I'm going to go ahead and start swinging early and watch you guys build board state while I sit here and wither. Second main phase. Yeah, I'll just hold pat. Pass.
I'm gonna play my Dimmer Cluestone and pass turn. So did anyone have trouble making a deck with just commons and commander? Besides our commanders.
I didn't have trouble. It kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, but yeah, it was kind of fun.
Tapping a red, white, and a blue to cast Ludovic. As far as building my deck, there were some cards that were printed as commons but were reprinted as uncommons, so it took some finagling to filter through that, but otherwise it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I had that issue too, and I took the stance of if it was a common at one point, by God, it's a common now.
And that's the way they rule it in Pauper.
The biggest one was Doomblade. I was like, should I? Do I want to?
Yes, you should.
I don't think anyone here would tell you not to.
I know, but I would rather it be legit.
Well, let me rephrase that. I don't think anyone here would tell you not to put it in their deck, or your deck, but they would definitely tell you not to cast it in this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to tap a swamp to give Vector Asp infect until the end of the turn. Sorry about it, Matt, but you're the only target with no blockers up.
Seems good.
I apologize. I see now that Larry also has no blockers. I will rectify that the next turn.
Don't forget the trigger from Ludovic.
Ah, yes, I get to draw a card. Thank you, Gabe. Go on ahead, Larry. I actually found it surprisingly easy to answer your earlier question, Gabe. I found it surprisingly easy to build a 4-color mana base with just commons. They've done a lot of work on making it easier to play multicolored decks in the last couple of years.
Nice.
Just the Dregscape there, Larry?
Yep. And pass.
Ludovic triggers for you also, Larry.
Oh, it does? Okay. Thank you.
He will be glad to take that extra card.
Yeah, just to clarify, if any of you deal combat damage, or if any of us deal combat damage to a player other than me, they get to draw a card at their end step.
That's some pretty good incentive not to hit you.
That's why I put him in there.
To further clarify, it actually doesn't have to be combat damage. It is any damage of any kind.
I sit corrected.
I am going to go ahead and cast my commander and pass turn.
And that's turn.
I'm going to tap 3 and cast this Cyst Bearer, and then I'm going to go to attack.
You know what I've heard about Cyst Bear?
What's the down low on Cisbear?
He's a beast.
Bum bum ba-dum.
Bow.
Is that your only attack?
Yeah, I didn't have the mana to give Vector Asp Infect. And I don't even get to draw any cards off of that.
I'm not sad about that.
You know, it's interesting. Compared to the last couple of weeks, this is actually a surprisingly aggressive game.
I did not realize Right was a common. That is scary.
Looked like it was to me. Am I wrong?
No, it is, but that's scary.
That is. Good lord.
You know what else is a common? Gray Merchant.
Yes, it is. I knew that. That's best common in black.
I would argue best common ever printed.
Too bad I'll never get to cast him or my commander, which is the only win cons I have. I'm just going to sit behind my one-drop zombie wall and call you guys names.
No hating. I did the same thing with goblins, just about.
I'm going to go ahead and cast a Nyxborn Triton. And a Looter. I'll go to attacks. And that triggers my search ability. And I'm going to go get a Rustic Study.
Nice.
So now I get to be that jerk at the table that says, are you going to pay 1 for that?
I'm usually that jerk. I'll run that in a couple decks.
I'm tapping a blue and a white and 2, and I'm going to go ahead and tap the 1 extra so you don't get to draw another one. And I'm casting my other commander. That'll be my turn.
I'm going to put this Path of Ancestry into the battlefield tapped. Larry, I'm going to spread the love around a little bit and swing at you with Assist Bearer.
Go to tap 3 and play Servant of Timerit.
That triggered me putting a +1/+1 on Ishai.
I just noticed, Gabe, that Partners is a good way to get around not having to have all commons.
Yeah. I'm thinking about doing a red, white, and blue deck for Independence Day with these two.
I'm going to go ahead and cast in Elend Umbra. Attach that to my Zur.
Zur the Mighty. Zur the 8 toughness.
Then I'm going to go ahead and play a Spectral Flight. And I'm going to cast one more enchantment. It's Veil of Birds. I'm going to go to combat.
Gabe, you're just eating all of this up, aren't you?
So far.
Gonna go get Steel of the Godhead. So he's a 3/11 with lifelink and unblockable. And that's the enemy.
Put in Sweetwater Cliffs, tapped, gain a life. Tapping 3. Playing Azorius Cluestone, and then I'm going to tap one more so you don't get to
Thank
draw
you.
a card. And then swinging at Larry for 5. Flying.
At the end of your turn, Gabe, I'm going to go ahead and pop this Grixis Panorama.
If you want to go ahead and make a copy of Ishtai and pass it along.
I'm going to play this Golgari Guildgate tap.
You can't pay 1 for that, can you?
Correct. I cannot pay 1 for that. I'm going to put Saskia into play, and when Saskia enters the battlefield, I get to choose a player, and I'm going to choose Matt.
Seems good.
I think that's the first time we've played against this deck and you haven't chosen me.
And then when I use Path of Ancestry to cast a creature that shares a type with my commander, I get to scry 1.
I believe the reason he cast it on me is because I actually have creatures on the battlefield this time.
Fair enough.
I'm going to go ahead and drop that to the bottom of the library. I don't need it. Gabe, I'm going to swing all of these at you. Rotwolf and Sisbearer have Infect. Saskia just has Vigilance and Haste.
Alrighty.
I'm going to go to end phase, and then I'm going to trigger Ludwig and draw a card. Go ahead, Larry.
For the record, Gabe, I hate your commanders.
I thought everyone might at one point or another.
I will, however, tap 2 and play Tattered Mummy.
You want to pay 1 more for that?
Yeah, sure.
I was hoping you'd say no.
Yeah, that's about all I got.
Rhystic Study, perhaps the most annoying common in the game.
I'm still going with anything that has Annihilator on it as the most annoying of any rarity type.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and pay 3 for an Asban Rune Mark. And pay 3 more for an Infiltrator's Mage Mark. Which gives all 3 of my creatures +1/+1. And pay 1 more for a Cloak of Invisibility. We'll go to combat. Which triggers my Go Search, and I'm going to go get Ethereal Armor. I have 10 enchantments, so that makes him a 16/24.
I will take the 16.
Good, because he's unblockable. And that's the end of my turn.
Trigger Ludwig.
Tapping 1 blue and paying the extra so you don't draw a card.
How nice of you.
And then I'm going to tap another blue and sacrifice Aether Spellbomb to make you put Zur back in your hand. Tapped a blue and 2 to cast Mistblade Shinobi, but I'm not tapping the extra, so you get to draw on that one. And that will be the end of my turn.
I'm going to put this Rugged Highlands into play tapped and gain a life. I'm going to cast this Ember Gale, and I'm going to say that creatures that Gabe controls can't block this turn. It's going to deal 1 damage to each white and or blue creature that Gabe controls. So goodbye, Mistblade Shinobi.
1 second. You're going to tap that extra.
Yes, I will.
Still get to draw a card, though.
Well, Matt was going to lose this turn, but you decided
Yeah.
to counterspell. Thanks, Gabe. There we go, Gabe. You and Matt are both going to get 4 poison counters. And that's all I got.
Going to cast Reap the Seagraph. Yay.
I'm going to go ahead and cast Sultai Rune Mark as well. Alright, I'm going to swing.
Taking 7 damage.
Trigger the draw, and pass my turn.
And that will do it for me.
I'm not gonna lie, Gabe, I was a little scared you were gonna swing it at me.
I was debating, and then I was just like, Calvin poses the biggest damage because of poison counters.
Did you draw off a Ludwig?
Man, there's not really anything I can do. I'm just kind of.
You can swing into Gabe.
Yeah. Nah.
Better not.
I guess I'll just try to hold on for one more turn. If there's anything I can do next turn, I'll just try to make some kind of baby play to at least let you guys know I was in this game.
I'm gonna go get Squire's Devotion. Six damage. And that's the end of my turn.
Will you be blocking, sir?
Yes.
Okay. After blockers are declared before damage resolves, tapping 1 white and 1 and paying the 1 Graceful Reprieve. And I'm targeting Ishai.
Seems good.
And then to discard, let me take a look here. Next turn.
I'm going to tap a black and 1 and play Shrivel.
I am okay with this.
Are you going to pay the extra for Rhystic Study?
Yeah, I don't have anything else to do with it.
So now, do I get the counter at the same time as he casts the spell, or does Ishai die?
cast and resolve are two different things. So when he casts the spell, Ishai gets a counter, and then when the spell resolves, it gets -1/-1 until end of turn.
Okay, so Ishai's got the counter on him, and I'm killing Hopeful Eidolon.
And now, when Festering Goblin dies, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, which is Ishtai.
Well, that's one way to get rid of a big baddie, isn't it?
It took a lot of work, but yeah.
Yeah, since board wipes don't exist for common. Okay.
At the end of your turn, I'm going to tap Looter, targeting myself. I'm going to cast Strength of Unity, which gives me +1/+1 for each basic land type, which happens to be 3. That's the end of my... Oh, well, yeah. It's the end of my turn. I said it.
I'm not tapping the extra, and that'll be my turn.
It should have been a lot more than that, but I missed it.
You have this turn to fix that.
You guys are in trouble now. Going to tap 2 and play Thought Vessel.
You going to pay 1 more for that?
Yep. Pass.
I'm going to cast Artificer's Epiphy. Epiphany. There we go. I'm going to draw 2. I'm going to cast Protective Bubble. So he has Unblockable and Shroud.
I'm assuming you're swinging at me.
That would be a safe assumption.
And that would be game for me.
Larry, I think it speaks volumes that we're in the 4th week and you have yet to not be in 2nd place or 1st place.
Yeah, I got the pity date this time though. But yeah, thank you.
That's been me the first 2 weeks.
I guess I'm going to get to draw for this card, right?
The Scarab God. Oh, it's a slobber knocker. He hit the floor hard. Yeah. Pass.
You know, it's interesting. Nobody.
I'm going to
about,
loot at the end of your turn.
You know, it's interesting. Nobody talks about the Scarab God's first ability in standard deck text. I'd forgotten that was even there. The only thing that usually comes up is the 2nd ability.
I'm going to hit Grim Guardian, so you lose 1 more from that.
Takes a real bastard to hurt a zombie deck with a zombie, you know that?
Yeah, you know. That's the end of my turn.
You lose 4 life.
You gonna pay 1 for that?
Play no. Stitched Drake. And I will pay 1. Yeah, that's that. Okay.
I'm going to take 6.
Pass. Going to tap one and proliferate. Oh, for the win. No, I'm just kidding.
Alrighty, I believe that's it for this week. So to get things going, I actually probably would buy my list because it was like $25 all told, and that might be the most fun I'm ever gonna have with $25.
Yeah, I would definitely buy mine because it gives the other people incentive to not attack me, get a big creature out there more or less, and there's just enough counter spells and buffs in here to make things annoying and difficult for everyone else.
I don't know. I only got to play it one time, and when you're mana screwed for the first 6 turns of the game, you really can't tell how it would perform. So maybe more play testing, I would know for sure. But for a Pauper list, it's decent.
I'd say if you were going to sit down at a table like everyone else is going to have only commons in the deck, I would buy this list. But if you're never going to sit down like that, no. There's just... I happen to get enough creatures out that it mattered, but usually I don't.
Well, there you have it, sports fans. Another one in the books. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit us up on Patreon and Twitter, and come back next week for the next episode of Budget Dragon Highlander.